Welcome to the Down the Seams podcast. It is December 18th, Wednesday. It's Thursday. Is it not? It's Thursday. Great way to start. Week 16 of the NFL starts tonight. So we had to get this out. Brandon is in the house. I was trying to figure out if it was in the hizzy or in the hizzle, whatever the old saying was. I forgot what it was, so I can't use it because I don't know which one. But either way, he's here. How are you doing?
Doing great. Hopefully today goes my way, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, Brandon is a Seahawks fan, so
Big
yeah,
implications. Big implications.
we'll get to them birds in a minute. The actual birds, not the Cardinals, not the Falcons, not the Eagles. The only bird team that I respect. But anyway, today we're gonna be going over the playoff picture, some implications, things that are online going on in Week 16. Before we begin, though, for our listeners or viewers on YouTube, we got some news, some couple storylines for you guys to discuss in the comments. Are the Steelers getting hot? 2 wins following a rough Week 13. Let us know. Tua, is he finished in Miami? Quinn Ewers to start Week 16. Bills pressure in the AFC East. Can the Bills steal the division after Week 15 win? And finally, down go the Lions, Panthers, and Colts. Is the season over for those playoff hopefuls? Let us know. We want to know your thoughts. Hear from you. We're going to dive right into this playoff picture, Brandon. We're going to start in the AFC. The number 1 seed Denver Broncos have officially clinched a playoff spot. They are first in the AFC West with a 12-2 record. And have clinched. Oh, yeah. I went backwards and I messed myself up. But anyway, Denver Broncos in first place. They're looking for the 1 seed. They've already clinched a playoff spot. Number 2, New England Patriots, 11-3, first in the AFC East, 99% chance to make the playoffs. Number 3, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're 10-4, first in the AFC South, 97% chance to make the playoffs. They're looking really good in terms of winning that division. And I saw something today that they were questioning if the Jaguars were the best team in the AFC. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
The Steelers are in fourth, 8-6, first in the AFC North, 61% chance to make the playoffs. The Chargers are in fifth, 10-4, second in the AFC West, 93% chance to make the playoffs. The Bills are currently in. Yeah, you got to put that Seahawks hat on.
Better rep it.
They're in sixth, 10-4, second in the AFC East, 99% chance to make the playoffs. And the Texans are in seventh, last team in currently at 9-5, second in the AFC South, 95% chance. Did I say the Bills were in the AFC South? I'm in the AFC East. 2 teams currently out but fighting for their playoff lives. Number 8, the Colts, 8-6, third in the AFC South, 15% chance to make the playoffs. And ninth, the Baltimore Ravens, 7-7, second in the AFC North, 40% chance to make the playoffs. They do have another matchup with the Steelers later on. So, as it currently sits, what are your thoughts on the AFC playoff?
It's wild. We got 3 games to go. Only 2 teams fighting. Realistically, to get in. My thoughts on the Colts specifically, I don't think they beat 49ers here Monday, so I think they're out.
Well, I have some scenarios for teams to clinch. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Colts are definitely in a tough spot.
Yeah, they don't have a solid quarterback to rely on. Sorry.
The good thing for them is, I don't know what the head-to-head is. I don't know what the tiebreakers would be, but there may be a scenario where the Bills could miss, in which case the Colts would not have to win the division to get in. But the chances of that happening are very unlikely because the Bills would have to lose out and the Colts would have to at least win 2 games. And I don't have the schedule in front of me or anything, but there is a scenario where the Colts could get in without winning the division, I believe. But the chances of that are very unlikely.
They have to win out, though. I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You might be right. I mean, who knows?
You're right.
Who knows? The Texans are in their division. They're only a game ahead of the Colts.
You're right.
So
I'll go by likely, though. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
The unlikely will probably never happen, and if there is a world that it does, then I will let them words come back to bite me. But until then, statistics never lie.
Yeah, yes, that's no lie.
They do have the Jaguars next week, because I know you said you don't have the schedule. And then they have the Texans in Week 18. So they have a really tough schedule ahead of them. And that's, yeah.
Yeah, but that also might be their path to the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Likely or unlikely? Very unlikely.
I think it's more likely that the Texans miss the playoffs than the Bills, in which case would help the Colts because they're a division opponent. I don't know. What's their quarterback situation? Is Phillip Rivers going to be
That's
the
what I'm
guy
saying.
moving forward?
They done lost. Basically, they don't have Anthony Richardson. I mean, he's already shown he's going to give up on the team when times get rough. We got, I don't even remember their starting quarterback now.
Phillip Rivers.
Wait,
Oh, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I forgot about that. He's tearing the league up.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, literally. And who would have? That's a whole nother story, though. Who would have thought he would have left Giants and done something?
Nate and I have been talking about that all year. Like at the beginning of the year, I had said the Colts were like 6-1, or they were 6-0, or like 5-0 or something. And I had said, when is it going to stop? Because like, are the Colts for real, or is this just like is it honestly that good? And then they kind of fell off, and then Daniel Jones got hurt, and injuries started popping. So I don't know. I mean, Daniel Jones, I feel like proved that it's more of a situation than it is talent.
Um,
If that makes sense, like it really where you are is very important.
yeah.
Um, and I feel like it showed that Brian Dable was a problem, or the offensive scheme in New York was a problem.
Oh yeah. But it's going back to a conversation I think we had the other day. About injuries. We were talking about how injuries happen. Um, you go on from one team and or it was like a Joe Burrow scenario. To the Panthers.
Oh
Said
yeah, yeah,
you said something about the injuries, like they don't disappear. If he goes to the Panthers, he will get injured again, and it's the same with Daniel Jones. He was injury prone
yeah,
with the Giants and
yeah,
got injured with the Colts.
yeah. Injury history doesn't go away. It changing a change of scenery might prevent like future in like new injuries, but prior injuries, your injury history don't go away.
And I feel like that's the Colts' downfall. They lost a solid quarterback, and that's what you really need to win a Super Bowl or to even make it deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, in terms of my whole philosophy is you need in order to win in the regular season, you need an offense, which starts with your quarterback, obviously. To win in the playoffs, you need a quarterback and a defense. That's why they always say defense wins championships.
Oh yeah,
In the regular season, it's who can score more points, and the defense is who can get more critical stops.
and that's history. I mean, shows that the Eagles last
Yeah,
year. I mean, they dominated on all cylinders and scored 40 on
yeah,
their heads, and defense done everything.
yeah. Just kept giving the ball back to the offense.
And years before,
Kept
the
getting,
Chiefs, their defense was so good that their offense complemented that, and it was a wrap for those years.
yep. When Tampa beat them in the Super Bowl, that defense, the Tampa Bay defense, didn't let the Chiefs do anything,
Exactly.
and so it was,
Move on to the Ravens too. Because that 40% chance, I really don't see 40%. I don't see it happening. I don't think they beat New England, even though they're favored.
I mean, that goes back to my little storyline at the beginning. Are the Steelers getting hot, or is it just a 2 game stretch? Because
Are
they do have the Ravens at the end of the year.
are the Ravens out with the loss, or can they lose this game and still get in? Because they'll be nine
The
and eight.
Ravens, the Ravens are not in danger yet. They are still very
That's
much in it,
crazy.
especially with that final game.
I forget. It is 8-6. Okay, so yeah, Pittsburgh loses with them, then I think they're safe.
Yeah, I mean the tiebreaker currently goes to the Steelers.
Oh yeah,
There is a scenario where the Steelers and Ravens tie, even with the Steelers sweeping the Ravens. So it starts with not losing.
exactly.
Um, then it goes to there. It's a 3-step process for the Ravens to get in the playoffs. First off, number one, you can't lose a game. You have to keep the pressure on the Steelers, especially as long as they're winning. If they are winning, you have to keep the pressure on them and keep winning yourself. Step two would be you need the Steelers to lose one because I feel like the perfect scenario for the Ravens would be go into Week 18 tied. You win one more, the Steelers lose one, and then you're tied going into Week 18.
Yeah,
And then step three would be beating the Steelers in Week 18. An even better scenario would be the Steelers lose two, and all of a sudden you have a 1 game lead going into Week 18. But I don't see the Steelers losing 2 games in a row.
not with Mike Tomlin as their coach, Mister 500.
I I had said with Nate a couple weeks ago or last week or whatever that the Miami game could be a trap game. That was the only game on the Steelers schedule that I saw as a real threat for Pittsburgh. So they handled that business, and now the pressure is on Baltimore for sure. And I don't know who has a tiebreaker, but currently it's the Steelers. So if the Ravens split that series in Week 18, finish the season tied, who knows?
So much football left to be played, though. So can't count it out.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand there's a lot to be decided in 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
These last 3 weeks could, or these next 3 weeks, I should say, could. So many things could change and shake up.
Don't the seedings fool you. There might be only a
Yeah.
couple teams fighting, but it can change in a heartbeat.
No one's locked into one specific spot yet. You have a couple teams that have clinched playoff positions, but their current place has not been set in stone just yet. So a lot can change.
And a good example of that is the NFC West. That spot's
Yep.
going to be bouncing around a lot here in the next couple weeks.
Yep, and that takes me right into the NFC playoff picture. Number one, you have the Rams, 11-3, first place in the NFC West. They have clinched a playoff spot after their Week 15 win, 100% chance to make the playoffs. Number two, the Chicago Bears, 10-4, first in the NFC North, 74% chance to make the playoffs.
Wow.
Number three, the Philadelphia Eagles, 9-5, first in the NFC East, 99% chance to make the playoffs. The Cowboys are on the ropes this week, but I will talk about that in a second. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7-7, they're in fourth. First place in the NFC South, 77% chance to make the playoffs. Fifth is your Seattle Seahawks, 11-3, second in the NFC West, 99% chance to make the playoffs. Sixth is the San Francisco 49ers, 10-4, third in the NFC West, 98% chance to make the playoffs. Seventh is the Green Bay Packers, 9-4-1, second in the NFC North, 88% chance to make the playoffs. That Packers playoff percent chance has dwindled over the last few weeks, just steady going down slowly. Number eight, first team out, the Detroit Lions, 8-6, third in the NFC North, 40% chance to get in. Ninth is your Carolina Panthers, 7-7, second in the NFC South, 23% chance to make the playoffs. That's disrespectful. 10% or 10th, the Dallas Cowboys, 6-7-1, second in the NFC East, 1% chance to make the playoffs. It's really less than 1%.
No, yeah, it's got to be like
But I,
24.
yeah, but I just generalize it as 1%.
Yeah,
We did have some teams eliminated in Week 15. 3 teams out of the AFC, 1 out of the NFC. That was the Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals, and Minnesota Vikings. So as the list gets shrunk down, one of the teams fighting for their playoff lives is the Cowboys, which we talked about at the beginning of the season. They looked very bad, and then all of a sudden they looked competitive. And everybody was talking about how could the Cowboys make the playoffs. So I'll tell you right now, Week 16, they could be officially eliminated from playoff contention. Up until this week, they were very much in a battle for the NFC East division crown. Now they, a week later, are talking about a very different scenario. The Cowboys, with a loss, they are eliminated. They are also eliminated with a tie or or if they tie and the Eagles tie, they're out. Or if the Eagles win. So Cowboys need some serious help.
it also helps the fact that they're disrespecting the Chargers and favoring Dallas to win Sunday. But
And the Chargers have been playing so good.
not now.
Even with Justin Herbert banged up. I mean, I know it's not his throwing hand, but it's still an injury. And speaking of the Chargers, they are very much in that AFC West race. They are flirting with losing the division, though, officially, Week 16, 2 ways. With a loss and a Broncos win or tie, Broncos take that division. Or if the Chargers tie and the Broncos win, the Chargers are officially out of the race for the AFC West. But as long as they win, neither of those two scenarios matter right now. The Chargers have to win to stay alive in the race for the AFC West.
That takes me to wanting to talk about the Broncos. They are playing really good football. Post Peyton Manning, I would have never expected this to happen, especially with Bo Nix under center. I give props.
He's your I was thinking about this the other day. Bo Nix is like a John F.
I give props where it's due.
Like
The coaching
personality-wise.
staff really put it together. They're doing really
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And they have one of the best defenses in the league. And we were just talking about what it takes to win in the playoffs.
Exactly.
And
They have
they have
they have the means to make it to the Super Bowl. They're clicking on all cylinders, all three facets of football: special teams, defense, offense. They're getting it done. So don't be shocked if you see the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And that could be the same with New England. They're also playing really good football. They're slowing down a little bit. Their running back issues is kind of dwindling on them, but they still could get it done and make it to the Super Bowl after just a couple years of rebuilding, which is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost not fair.
Literally.
It's almost not. Talking about ways to be eliminated, here's some scenarios in which some teams could clinch. We were talking about the Broncos. The Broncos can clinch the AFC West with a win and Chargers loss or tie, or a tie and a Chargers loss. So if the Chargers lose,
They got a pretty good chance.
then all the Broncos have to do is win, and they take the AFC West. They can also clinch the 1 seed in the AFC this week a couple different ways. Actually, no, the Broncos need a lot to go right this week if they want to clinch the 1 seed. With a win and a Chargers loss or tie and a Patriots loss and a Bills loss or tie, the Broncos will take the 1 seed in the AFC. And that would be huge in terms of making that Super Bowl run that you were just talking about. Home field advantage matters, especially in a place like Denver where it's very cold, high altitude, in the middle of winter. Very big.
Crazy. Only one division is on the ropes of being finished. Every other division in the AFC is still up for grabs, only one game apart.
Yeah. No other team can clinch their division in the AFC this week either.
That's the same with the NFC. Only one division. And that's the East.
Yeah, the same thing with the NFC.
Wow.
Yeah, the Eagles are the only team that can clinch their division this week in the NFC. They clinched the division with a winner tie and a Cowboys loss. Or no, the Eagles clinched the NFC East with a win or tie and a Dallas tie or a Dallas loss. If the Cowboys lose, the Eagles take the division. So all signs are pointing toward the Eagles taking the NFC East within the next 2 weeks. Matt.
There's football, man. I love it.
Staying in the NFC, the Packers can clinch a playoff spot this week with a win and Lions loss or tie, or a tie and a Lions loss. The Bears can clinch a playoff spot this week with a win and Lions loss or tie, or a tie and a Lions loss. Sound familiar? We're going to follow that pattern here. Pay attention. The Seahawks clinch a playoff spot this week with a win or tie, or a Lions loss or tie. The 49ers clinch a playoff spot this week with a win or tie and a Lions tie, or a Detroit loss. So them Lions play a critical part in a lot of people's playoff races or playoff journeys this week. If the Lions lose, that could set up 3 teams to make the playoffs officially in Week 16.
Wild.
So that's pretty crazy. You want to hear something even crazier? Here's something else for you. Here's another pattern. In the AFC, the Patriots could clinch a playoff spot with a win or tie, or Colts loss or tie, or a Texans loss or tie. So the Patriots don't have to win this week. If the Colts lose or tie, or the Texans lose or tie, the Patriots are officially in the playoffs. The Bills, they clinch a playoff spot this week with a win and Colts loss or tie, or win and Texans loss or tie, or tie and Colts loss, or tie and Texans loss. The Jaguars can make the playoffs this week with a win and Colts loss or tie, or a win and Texans loss or tie, or a tie and Colts loss, or a tie, Colts tie, and Texans loss. And then the Chargers can clinch a playoff spot this week with the same scenario as the Jaguars. So the Colts and Texans can decide a lot of other teams' playoff, or solidify 4 teams' playoff spots this week. So not only are the Texans, Colts, and Lions playing for their own prospective playoff lives, they are a key part in a lot of other teams' scenarios as well. So that's genuinely crazy.
Houston, you got to give props to them. They've won 6 in a row. They were 3-5. Everybody thought they were going to miss out, but here they are.
Yep, getting hot at the right time.
Indianapolis losing 4 in a row sets up Houston very well.
Indeed. And with that, we're going to go away from the AFC South. However, in the NFC, we have a little competition, a little battle to keep an eye on this week. The Rams and Seahawks, they're battling for that 1 seed.
Yes.
Could Seahawks take that 1 seed in the NFC? We're not only talking about the division anymore. We are talking about the Seahawks potentially getting home field advantage throughout the entire playoff. If you're the NFL, what are you doing allowing this to happen? Y'all not understand that Seattle is one of the toughest places to play, especially in the postseason? Y'all want another Legion of Boom?
Getting hot at the right time.
Do y'all want Sam Darnold to win a Super Bowl?
I do.
Come on. Come on.
At the cost of Seattle, I definitely want to see Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl for us. But I mean, history never lies, and he's not that good in the playoffs, so that home field advantage might
He's
not matter.
played in one playoff game and he lost badly.
And he had home field advantage, didn't he? They were
I
14 and
think they were
3.
on the road. I think they were on the road though.
But
I don't think they got the bye.
I also wanted to talk about that. It's crazy. Sam Darnold has a chance to make history and go 14 and 3 in back-to-back years with two different teams.
Yep. And could lose first game.
Yeah, don't jinx it, dude. Don't jinx it. But also history. LA, man, Matthew Stafford, he's just, whew, he's so good. He's making it look like he's his younger Lions and Megatron himself.
It's like he's going in reverse.
Literally, he is going in reverse. That's a good way to put it.
Best years are at the back of his career. Granted, he was good in Detroit too. He's always been good. It's just that those Lions teams that he was on never.
It's so good. Things never change. Arizona is just going to be at the bottom forever. Forever.
They had
that 2 year stint.
The early 2010s. The Cardinals were that team, but never got anywhere with it. They went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Steelers. They were really good. Where they were decent in 2014, lost to the Panthers in the wild card round. They were really good in 2015, got annihilated by the Panthers in the championship game. And ever since then, ever since Larry Fitzgerald left, it's not been the same.
They had that 2 year stint in the 2020s, I think, where they were on the fringe of being competitive, but
they did make the playoffs with Kyler Murray.
That's what I'm saying. It comes down to Kyler Murray. He's just not the answer.
Yeah, he disappeared in the playoffs. Played terribly against them. And I believe that's what kind of put him over. Matter of fact, I think that was the year the Rams won the Super Bowl.
2020.
So that kind of elevated the Rams into like real contenders in the division year in, year out, I think. But I don't know. I would rather honestly have the Rams with the 1 seed. And that's just speaking from a fan of a team that could make the playoffs and have to play a lot of road games.
Yeah.
Because when you look at home field advantage, the Rams do not have great home field advantage. There's more 49ers fans in SoFi Stadium than there are Rams fans.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that on Facebook.
So if you want to take into account home field advantage, if there's a road game, if there's any road game that you would want to play in the playoffs, it would be the Rams, I feel like. The Rams are a really good team. They can beat you anywhere. It doesn't matter about if they're at home or not. But home field advantage matters, especially in the postseason. And going to LA is very different than going to Seattle or Green Bay or probably even Chicago, because those Bears fans have been waiting for a playoff game for so long. So like going to play the Rams on the road in the playoffs is that would be your quote easier matchup. So even for the Seahawks, I mean, you're right up the road. The Seahawks fans probably going to travel well. So it might equal home field advantage for the Seahawks on the road if it came down to the NFC Championship game in LA.
But bringing up the Bears, the NFC is always the same. It seems like the same few teams, except for the Bears sneaking up in here this year.
Yeah, it's the same core. Yeah, it's the same core teams.
When is that going to change?
The same teams have owned the divisions for quite a while.
When is that going to change? That's the question I have for you.
I mean, if you look at the NFC East, that's not changing anytime soon. Sadly,
I don't think the Commanders doing anything ever.
I said it last year. The Commanders, that was just a run. That was just a team that went on a run with the offensive rookie of the year at quarterback.
He made everyone around him better, and that's crazy to say.
Yep. That was just a team that went on a run. They're really not that talented. And then I believe they just went through a coaching change too.
Yeah.
So that's like another thing. Their setback. Plus, you never know what. I almost said Chase Dan. I can't believe I just forgot his name. What's his name?
The quarterback, Marcus Mariota.
Mm-hmm. No, Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. I can't believe I forgot his name. What's he going to look like when he comes back from injury? What's he going to look like after a serious missed time? That's going to be my question for the Commanders next year. You look at the Cowboys are the
The
Cowboys.
Giants, I mean, they have potential to sneak up in the playoff race now with Dart, but I
I
think
mean,
they need a coaching change bad.
yeah, they're gonna get a new coach up in there. Um,
They're going to get a good pick. I feel like they could make a playoff threat this next year.
they're gonna have a good young core, but I think we're still 2 years out from the Giants really competing for the division. So, and the Cowboys are the Cowboys. So that division is the Eagles' division for I would say at least the next 5 years. Because even when the Giants start to establish themselves as a threat to
Agree.
the NFC East, they still need experience to go with that. The only way to gain experience I do this with Nate a lot, and I don't like doing it because I don't like talking about my favorite team when there's plenty of other teams to talk about. But I just feel like the Panthers are the best example when you look at rebuilds for the last 5 years or so. You look at where the Panthers are now compared to where they were 2 years ago. 2 years ago, that was a young team that didn't know anything but losing, finding ways to lose. Then it became
Part of me
let's
thinks
just
they
be
were tanking.
let's just be competitive in games. That was the first goal. Let's just be competitive. It don't matter if we go 2-15. Just let's just be competitive. Then it was we've learned how to be competitive. Now let's just learn how to win.
Yep, execute.
Then when it becomes we've learned how to win, let's learn how to win consistently. The Panthers are currently learning how to win. Next year it will be about let's learn how to win consistently. And so it'll be the same thing for the Giants. You have a young core. Next year is going to be about let's just learn how to be competitive. The year after that, learn how to win. Learn how to win consecutively or consistently. Then year 4 of the Jackson Dart era, you're looking at let's go win a Super Bowl.
I mean, there's other teams that have shown they can do it in less years. So, I mean,
True, true. I mean, back to the Panthers. We're ahead of schedule, I believe. No
I
one
mean, a good
expected the
example is
Panthers
your Carolina Panthers. I mean, back in 2015, their last year's record was what, 7-9?
7-8-1.
Exactly.
They were 3-8-1, won their last 4 games,
They
and won the division.
they turned around and won 8 more games than they did previously and made it to the Super Bowl. That is a
Went,
turnaround. And they were in rebuild mode in
went into
2014.
week 15. Went into week 15 that year with the longest active winning streak in the NFL. Um they had won like 16 regular season games.
That's another point I want to make. Being hot at the end. We had that conversation recently. Being hot at the end, winning games consistently, like you just said. The Broncos winning 11 games in a row.
Yeah.
They are really good. They're going to be in the Super Bowl. I feel like it's
Yeah.
just who's going to be in the NFC.
Yeah, and to answer your question about when's it going to change, you might see a changeover in the NFC West. I don't believe you're going to see the NFC East change much within the next 5 years, at least.
I don't think the NFC West is changing. I mean, there's
The,
literally
the
three good
NFC
teams
West,
ever. But there's
the NFC West is about to see a change,
in
but
what way?
that's because the Rams are close. They're not there yet, but they're close to a complete teardown. That roster is getting old. Their biggest threat on offense that is young is Puka Nakua, but he can't do it by himself. Who's going to throw him the ball? The Rams are going to stay competitive. They're not going to be able to take a top quarterback in the draft.
You're right.
Eventually, they're going to have
Did
to make
Matthew
a
say he was
move at
retiring
quarterback.
soon?
I don't think so, but he's getting old.
Yeah. I still think he's
Father,
got another 5 years in him, though.
oh, for sure. That's why I said they're close. They're not there yet, but they're
But is
close.
he going to stay with the
Eventually,
Rams? That's another question.
that's the better question. I think he has a bigger contract, but eventually you're going to have to kind of reevaluate that roster because they are getting older.
Exactly.
Um, and if you stay competitive, you're not going to be able to take a top quarterback in a draft when Matthew Stafford's gone. So you're eventually going to have to make a change at quarterback, and I just don't see the Rams being in a position where they can go from Matthew Stafford to rookie QB and stay competitive offensively. So, and that's just because they're so competitive now. I don't see them being able to get a top quarterback
I mean, yeah,
unless they attack.
exactly. They're going to have to. I mean, they never draft well at QB. We've seen that with Jared Goff. I mean, kudos to him. He's doing decent right now with Detroit, but I mean, we'll see why Detroit won't win. It's obviously Goff, but
Yeah, he was a game manager in LA. They went to the Super Bowl with a great defense.
he's literally there to support the system they have around him. He's not the system.
Yeah, yeah, he's literally a product of who you have around him. He can win if you have the right pieces.
And
But
that's not a dig at him at all. I mean, he's in the NFL.
no,
Anybody
no,
in the NFL is obviously good, but I mean,
yeah.
we're talking about in terms of other
In terms
NFL
of
talent.
the entire NFL, yeah,
Exactly.
alone, he's not.
He's
He's
average.
not what you would
He's on the
want.
scale of average.
And now Brock Purdy is the same way. If
Exactly.
you
That's
put
another good
if you put
example.
the talent around him, if you put the talent around him, he can win. If he doesn't have the talent around him, he's not the type of quarterback to go out and win you a game by himself.
Exactly. But he's no Tom Brady. I mean, yeah, he's a seventh round pick like Tom Brady was, but
And that's another roster that's getting old. We were just talking about the Cardinals, but the Cardinals could be a team where they have an avenue to being competitive in the NFC West just because two other teams are not or on the fringe of roster reevaluation. The
exactly.
49ers right at the doorstep of roster reevaluation. They have their quarterback, but like we just said, not a quarterback that's going to be able to win during a rebuild.
Exactly.
The Giants did not have a quarterback that could win during the rebuild. The Panthers never had a quarterback that could win throughout the rebuild, except for Cam Newton. We were rebuilding, and Cam Newton was still winning ball games, but then he got hurt, and it all fell apart. Cam Newton was the key piece to keeping the Panthers relevant while we were rebuilding. We were 6-2, Cam Newton's last year in Carolina before he left and came back. 2019, we were 6-2. Cam goes down, season's toast. We finished 7-9. 6-2. You can rebuild and still be competitive if you have a quarterback talented enough to win during the rebuild. The 49ers have their quarterback, but not one capable of winning during the rebuild, I don't think. So when they start reevaluating that roster and they're trying to get younger, looking at CMC, they're going to need new running backs in that building. They need a younger receiving core. Deebo Samuel's gone.
Are you?
Brandon Ayuk is nowhere to be found.
I mean,
Um,
he's obviously in it for the money.
yeah, and they got what's his name? I forgot his name, but they have another receiver who's decent, but they don't really have that
Kittle's
great.
old.
Yeah, they're on the brink of roster reevaluation, so they're gonna eventually fall off. And I also believe that when the 49ers go into rebuild mode, that's when Kyle Shanahan gets shown the door because they missed their window. They had 2, 3, maybe even 4 big opportunities to win the Super Bowl, and Kyle Shanahan did not deliver.
Exactly.
So when the 49ers go into their rebuild and their championship window is officially closed, I believe that's when Kyle Shanahan is shown the door, and that's going to set the 49ers up for a very long rebuild. They're going to fall off when they try to get younger. The Rams are going to fall off when they're trying to get younger. That's going to open the door for the Cardinals to move up. And if the roster is good enough, they might be able to compete with the Seahawks for the division. In the
That
NFC
if
South,
they get rid of Kyler Murray.
yes, yes. In the NFC South is due for a change. History states every 3 to 5 years, the NFC South flips. It flips. And the Panthers have been at the bottom of the division for the last 10 years or so. They've slowly worked up. It's starting to flip. The Bucks are the same way as the Rams and the 49ers. They're going to have to get way younger, way younger. And they've done that on the defense side of the ball within the last couple of years. But offensively, that receiving core is just fossils. Outside of Egbuka, that receiving core is just fossils. They got to get so much younger. So they're going to eventually have to reevaluate the roster as well. This division's about to flip. And it's probably going to be the Falcons and Panthers at the top, just like it was 2014, 2015.
The Falcons will be good here soon. They got a good quarterback in Michael Penix. They have a very good running back, Bijan.
Solid young core. And the
Really fun there.
NFC North, you might see that flip soon. The Bears at the top, possibly the Vikings, because JJ McCarthy's still young. He's still figuring it out. This is a makeshift rookie year. Like he's still figuring out. He's going to be okay. So you got young pieces in Minnesota. That division might flip. I don't think we're too far away from the NFC um, kind of shaking up a little bit. But I do think that the Eagles are going to keep control of the
The thing
NFC
with
East for a while.
Minnesota though is they've been in the playoff picture recently, so
Yeah, yeah. And that again, that roster has not been good. It's not like they've had a Super Bowl roster on day one.
mhm.
They are finding ways to win while rebuilding. So I don't know. I don't know. Minnesota's an interesting team.
I was about to say they're a special case.
Maybe we'll cover them in the off season. I don't know. The Minnesota Vikings are a very interesting story. But who knows? The Bears might be on to something. They might be moving up in the division.
I feel like they
for
could
good.
stay there for a little 5-6 years.
Yeah. I think the Packers. That's another one where I think Matt LaFleur might be close to the hot seat. He's getting a little warm. Also, Jordan Love. I told Nate a couple weeks ago, Jordan Love is like the typical Packers quarterback. He's Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers' baby. He
Starts off
the
slow,
pocket,
and maybe in a couple years he's just going to be that dude.
Yeah, he has the pocket awareness of Aaron Rodgers. He has the arm talent of Brett Favre, which is not really any arm talent at all. There's not much accuracy there. It's just throw it deep and hope a receiver catches it. So Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur might be near the end of their Packers run. So what's that going to look like? They don't have a quarterback waiting for Aaron Rodgers to leave this time. They don't have a quarterback waiting for Jordan Love to get up out of there.
But speaking of the Bears, Caleb Williams has impressed me. I felt like he wasn't going to be. I felt like he was just going to bust, but he's showing me things that I didn't think was going to.
Same. And who knows? I mean, you never know what the future holds. This could just be a fluke year. This could be just a year where everything's working.
Exactly right.
And he falls off a cliff next year. Or this could be the start of something great, where Caleb Williams
could be a dynasty.
wins multiple Super Bowls. You never know. But I will say
about the NFL, man.
I will say they're not winning the Super Bowl this year.
No, definitely not.
Because I told this.
They're not even going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, no. Rookie head coaches don't win Super Bowls. Just like rookie quarterbacks. Rookie head coaches do not win Super Bowls.
Sean McVay had a good chance, but
fell short. It's every time a first-year head coach makes a run in the playoffs, they can get to the Super Bowl, they're not winning it.
Exactly. Just not enough experience.
Yeah.
The regular season's a whole different ballgame than the Super Bowl. There's different game plans that have to go into it and everything.
And the problem with Chicago and their coaching thing, or their coaching situation, Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay has been in the playoffs multiple times. Sean McVay has been to and won a Super Bowl. Matt LaFleur has been in the playoffs multiple times. McDaniels, is that his name? Or McDaniel?
Mike McDaniels? Or no, for Seattle.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel. He's been in the playoffs. Let me look at the rest of this playoff picture here. We got Sean McVay's been to, won a Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni with the Eagles, been to and won a Super Bowl. Todd Bowles, been in the playoffs multiple times. Kyle Shanahan, been to the Super Bowl. Matt LaFleur, been to the playoffs multiple times. Dan Campbell, if the Lions get in, been to the playoffs multiple times. We're in the NFC Championship game with Ben Johnson on his coaching staff. People have been saying that the Lions' offense actually looks better without Ben Johnson. And then you have Ben Johnson, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, who's been in the playoffs as a coordinator but never been to the playoffs as a head coach. It's different when you're in charge of the whole team rather than just the offense.
Exactly.
So all signs point to him getting out-coached in the playoffs. And it all comes with experience. And that's why first-year head coaches don't win. It's the same thing with the Jaguars. Liam Cohen. They're talking about the Jaguars possibly being the best team in the AFC. Sean Payton won a Super Bowl. What's his name? I don't know why I forgot his name. Dude in New England. He's been in the playoffs for multiple
times. The coach?
Yeah.
Vrabel. Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel. He's been in the playoffs multiple times, been to an AFC title game. Mike Tomlin's been around for years.
He's the second coming of Bill Belichick, in my opinion. He's learned it all from Bill. He was a former player of Bill.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh, he went to college, but he's been in the playoffs before. He's been in the Super Bowl. Sean McDermott's been in the playoffs for multiple years at a time. And then John Harbaugh, been in the playoffs multiple times. If the Ravens get in, all signs point to Liam Cohen being outcoached in the playoffs. So same thing if the Panthers make the playoffs. The chances of Dave Canales being outcoached are through the roof. First-year head coaches just don't win Super Bowls. But
there's only been two in history, but last time that happened was in 1990.
Yeah. So, and that was a different time period.
And they often inherit a strong team. So if there was a good team that had a bad bad coach that they needed to get rid of just to succeed, then that's when they win their first year. Just with the 49ers in 1989, they inherited that really good 49ers team, and he went on to win the Super Bowl in his first year.
Yeah, and I think
Matt
Steve Young was the
LaFleur,
quarterback then.
Matt LaFleur, he was the closest. He in 2019, he went to the NFC Championship in his first year.
Yep, lost to the Bucks.
Sean McVay, he won the Super Bowl in his second year. Jim Harbaugh took him to the NFC Championship in his first season.
Yep, and then went to the Super Bowl and lost. But yeah, I mean, I think there's writing on the wall for the NFC to change. I'm glad to see we're in a new era for the AFC, I believe. Even though the Patriots are back, I'm glad to see things shaking up a little bit in the AFC, not just the same teams all the time like we were just talking about the NFC. But I do believe that there's going to be some change in the NFC soon.
I feel like the AFC is going to be changing soon.
It could.
I mean, we see the Broncos, they already made a name for themselves. The Jaguars, I mean, Texans getting their name in there.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that was the Colts division, right? For the last few years.
Titans.
The
Titans have owned that division, but they fell off hard. They fell off hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's an interesting story.
We're nearing the end here, so we're going to finish looking at these playoff battles. We have Denver, New England playing for the 1 seed. I'm going to ask you some questions here. Denver, New England playing for the 1 seed in the AFC. Pittsburgh, Baltimore for the AFC North. Chargers, 49ers playing for the 5 seed in the playoffs. That is critical.
Yeah.
Because you get that, you end up with that 7 seed in the AFC. You're not getting a home game.
Yeah.
No chance. So that playing for that 5 seed, you're the best wild card team. And there's always a chance that you could end up with a home game at some point. So with that being said, the 49ers, Chargers playing for the 5 seed. A couple questions in the AFC. For you, 2 questions for that 1 seed. Number 1, can Denver or will Denver clinch the 1 seed this week? Yes or no?
My opinion, let me see who they play real quick.
Because they can do it with a win. Again, they can do it with a win and Chargers loss or tie, and a New England loss and a Buffalo loss or tie. So if the Patriots lose, the Bills lose or tie, the Chargers lose or tie, and they win, then
no, they will not clinch this week.
Okay, leads me to my next question in the AFC. Who will take that 1 seed, the Broncos or the Patriots?
It's very close to call right now, but in my opinion, I think the Broncos still will clinch. Just not this week.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore, who you got in the AFC North?
Pittsburgh.
And the Chargers, 49ers. 2 questions. Can the 49ers sneak in and steal the NFC West? And if they don't, who takes the 5 seed, Chargers or the 49ers? Do the Chargers keep winning? It's mathematically possible.
You said the Chargers or 49ers who takes the 5 seed? They're not in the same conference.
They're not in the same division, but they're battling for the 5 seed in the AFC playoff.
The 49ers aren't in the AFC.
Oh, look at me. I got something wrong. There was a team fighting for the 5 seed. Let me figure out who it is. Hold on.
I was so confused.
Yeah, I'm over here talking like I know what I'm talking about, and I done got it wrong. Let me figure out who. I think it was the Bills. It might have been the Texans.
Right now.
It was either the Bills or the Texans.
All right, so
the Bills
are in
generalize
right? No, yeah, they have the same record. It's the Bills and Chargers.
So if the Bills lose the division and the Chargers, if the Bills lose the division, who takes the 5 seed? Chargers.
In my honest opinion, the Chargers have been playing really well, but I think the Bills are gonna get it. They have a really easy schedule.
Going to the NFC where the 49ers actually play. Going to the NFC where the 49ers actually play. Seahawks or Rams, do the 49ers sneak in, take that division? Is there a chance? Mathematically, yes. Mathematically, there is a chance. But logically, do the 49ers sneak in and steal the division from the Rams and Seahawks?
Well, there is a chance. They really have to rely on Seattle winning tonight. And they have to win out. So, I mean, going off of my philosophy, it's very unlikely. So, no, I don't think they will. But there is a world that those words could come back to bite me. But I'd rather let them come back to bite me than just to say something off the wall right now. But in my honest opinion, I think Seattle might steal it if they win here.
It's possible. It's possible. It's on the thing that was the other thing coming out of the NFC West is the Rams and Seahawks playing for the 1 seed. So you think the Seahawks take the 1 seed?
If they win here tonight, yes. But
they could win here tonight too. So that would propel them.
Yeah.
That would help the Seahawks. That would have the Seahawks jumping everybody.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Boom. Seattle in the 1 seed. That would be crazy. That would be
This is the
crazy.
game of the week, in my opinion. This should be a Monday night
For
game.
for sure. The only one that could compete, in my opinion, would be there was another one, and I forgot who it was though. But the Panthers and Bucks for the NFC South,
Yeah.
because that one
49ers and Colts,
has huge. 49ers and Colts was the other one I
Monday
was
night.
thinking about. Obviously the 49ers trying to sneak
Patriots and
in.
Ravens is also a very good one.
That might have actually been the one I was thinking of. Patriots, Ravens. Patriots trying to take that 1 seed and keep a stranglehold on the division, and the Ravens playing for their playoff lives. Yeah, that was it. But the Panthers and Bucks playoff. If the Panthers lose, the chances of them making the playoffs drop dramatically. If the Bucks lose, the division belongs to the Panthers again, and the Bucks will be on the outside looking in for now, along with Seahawks, Rams playing for the 1 seed and the NFC West. Two huge games right there for the NFC playoffs. Bears, Packers playing for the NFC North and the 2 seed. Who takes the division?
You said,
Whoever takes the division is taking that 2 seed.
um,
So
for the NFC,
NFC North, Bears, Packers.
there's Packers. Packers have been playing really well. But I don't think they beat them again. I honestly think the Bears can sneak one.
I could get behind that. I'm not a firm believer right now, but I could get behind it. And finally, I was just talking about it. Bucks, Panthers, NFC South. Who wins that division?
I mean, hold on, going back to before, because the Bears almost did beat them. They were really close to beating them. That's why I say that.
Oh yeah, that was a close game. No, yeah.
They were really close. It came down to one play, I'm pretty sure. It was the game sealing interception in the end zone. That's right. Now what was you saying? What was the next thing?
And it NFC South. Who takes it? Tampa or Carolina?
Oof, that one. It's a toss up, honestly. The North Carolina part
The
of me wants to
percentages.
say Carolina, but I mean, with how they just
But
got swept by the Saints, they are really on thin ice. They really have to play phenomenal football these last 3 weeks.
yeah, I mean it's very. It's really like a two-sided scenario. I mean, the Panthers swept the Falcons, so in that case, they've played good in the division, but they also got swept by the Saints. So in that case, they've played terrible in division games. So, like, which Panthers are going to show up?
Is it the ATL Panthers or is it the New Orleans Panthers?
The Panthers that found a way to beat the Rams and the Packers, or the Panthers that went to New England and had 40 dropped on their heads? It could be either one, in my opinion. They could win a shootout with the Bucks.
That's the interesting thing. I just said two completely different things, and then you said two completely different things. That sums up the Panthers. They're just a roller coaster of a team.
Yeah, they could walk into Bank of America Stadium and win a shootout against the Bucks. But
Or
with
they can
that,
blow them out.
The Bucks are capable of beating the brakes off the Panthers. That roster is good, and they're getting healthier.
Exactly.
So they're capable of just absolutely tearing apart the Panthers. But we'll see. We'll see. Last thing before we go, just to go over these elimination scenarios again, because I didn't finish it earlier. We went over the Cowboys. They're out this week with a loss or a Eagles win. That would be the more likely scenarios. The Lions still battling for the NFC North, but they officially lose the division with a loss this week, or a tie and Packers win, or a tie and Bears win. The more likely scenario being a loss. So if the Lions lose this week, they lose the NFC North, but are not out of the playoffs just yet.
Right.
They are out of the playoffs with a loss and Bears or Packers tie. So if the Bears or Packers tie and the Lions lose, they're out. That's not a likely scenario, but it is possible. In the AFC South, the Colts are not out of the playoffs yet, but if they lose and the Jaguars win or tie, they lose the division, and it would be 10 times harder for them to get into the playoffs. The Chargers, again, can lose the AFC West this week with a loss and a Denver win, or a tie and a Denver. That has been your playoff picture. It's going to be an insane Week 16. Any final thoughts?
Colts. Yeah. Do you think the Ravens do it, or do you think the
No,
Colts do it?
no. I would like. I've gotten pretty used to this gotten pretty used to this. When the Panthers are out of it, I'm just here for good football.
That's the same
So
with me in Seattle.
I would love for the scenario to play out where the Colts are in Week 18, they win, they're in the playoffs, they lose, they're out. Same thing for the Ravens. I would love to see Week 18 come down and decide the AFC North.
That's the kid in me. I want to see underdogs. I want to see the final finish. I want to see it actually matter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so tired of seeing teams benching players in Week 18 because it doesn't matter.
That really grinds my gears.
Whatever. So like, I just want to see good football
It
at the
doesn't
end of the
matter if you're
season.
out, man. Just play them. I mean,
Whether
what's the worst that could happen? It isn't like you have to go hard.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I get you don't want to risk injuries, and there is such a thing as non-contact injuries. You can get hurt just stepping back. I mean, Panthers
You
practice
can get
last
injured
week.
just
Turk
walking on
Wharton,
the sidelines, dude.
yeah, Turk Wharton got hurt in a walkthrough. He tripped over somebody and ripped
Exactly.
his hamstring. So
We've seen
I
enough
mean,
of
it's
that in the
possible to
NBA,
get hurt.
man. It is.
Yeah, it's possible to get hurt, but I just want to see good football at the end of the season.
Exactly.
So I mean, I would love to see the Colts and Ravens stay alive and make Week 18 even more exciting, but I just don't see it happening. The Colts have too much going on. I'm not going to say the Ravens stand no chance. I think the Colts stand no chance, but
The
I'm not
Colts
going to say the
stand no
Ravens stand
chance,
no
I
chance.
feel like. The Ravens have way more of a chance, but
They have way more of a chance. I just don't see it happening.
exactly, they have to have everything go right.
Yeah, yeah, a lot has
And
to go
that
right
and
for the
that's the
Ravens
good
to
thing
get
about
in.
football. Whenever you see those little things where they win and five other teams lose, then they're in. It makes for a great story. Like you said, at week
Yeah,
18, you want it to actually matter. You want the story to actually be there. You don't want it to actually not matter and then just not get good football from your team or something.
yeah. And even as a Panther fan, it's the most likely scenario for the Panthers to get in. But even that aside, I'm all for Week 18 deciding the NFC South. I'm all for
Me
that
too. That would
because
make for a great finish.
I just want to see good football. Like at the end of the day, I don't know. There's just something about this is basically a division title game. It could be that way for the Steelers and Ravens.
And it
It
very
could,
well could come down to week 18 because Panthers play at home tonight. If they win, they're well suited for week 18 finish.
yeah, exactly. So it's like the Ravens and Steelers could be that way. There is a scenario where the Colts could be that way, where they're playing. I don't know who they play in Week 18,
The
but
Colts,
yeah,
um, Texans, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, that could be a division title game.
Exactly.
There is a scenario.
They need
It's not
Jaguars to start
likely.
losing, but
Yeah, it's not likely, but it's possible. I just love
yeah,
where,
they played the
you
Texans.
know, I just love that stake where you win, you're in. You lose, your season's over with. I love that scenario. It just does something to my heart, and maybe that's the competitor in
Because
me.
you control
I
your
don't
own
know.
destiny. I mean,
I love that. Maybe that's just the competitor in me because I know when I played sports, I know how the locker room felt. I know it's very different in the professional ranks of things, but just sports in general. If you're in a scenario where you know that if you win, you're winning a championship, or if you win, you're going to the playoffs. That just feels great. And it also, as a fan of the Panthers or the Seahawks, in your case, playing for the 1 seed, as a Panther fan, seeing the Panthers this year, every time our backs have been against the door, we've played harder. Our backs against the wall, we've played harder. If this division comes down to Week 18, I have no doubt in my mind we can take it because this team has played so good facing elimination.
exactly.
So I want that because I feel that if we understand that we lose, we're done. This team plays better. So we will see what happens. But
Exactly.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I don't think the Ravens and Colts can do it, but I would like to see it, honestly, just because I want to see good football. But anyway,
Thank
I appreciate you joining me.
you for having me on.
And if you're listening on Spotify, watching on YouTube, whatever you're doing, make sure you follow, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the case may be for you. We got a lot of stuff planned down the stretch here for the final 3 weeks and the playoffs. I have a Christmas special coming up. I have a New Year's Eve special coming up, and a lot of stuff planned for the off season as well. I'm talking mock drafts, free agency coverage, anything you can think of. We're going to be doing it right here on the YouTube channel and on Spotify. So Make sure you find us, Down the Seams Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. And there's a Facebook group too. So feel free to find us on social media, follow us. You can email us at downtheseams@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you want to hear on the show, see on the show. And I wanna start doing some fan mail too. If y'all have any kind of like emails or messages for us, that'd be great. And we can get you on the show or something. We can put your comment up on the screen so everybody can see it. Whatever the scenario is. Anyway, we appreciate you all. This is the Down the Seams Podcast. We will see you Sunday night.